You know, when we started playing in clubs together, you're bringing up a thought here that a lot of people don't think about. The ideal, like in a movie, is that you're always thinking about the arena stage, and that's the only thing that's on your mind as you're working as a musician. That greater idea is always there, looming consciously. Where I don't think it was that for us. It certainly wasn't for me. It went in very short little stages, like one day I'm going to be the king of Gazaris.
Right.
One day we'll be the top guys at the Starwood.
Hey, with us it started out with one day we went to practice piano. Right? From there it went to, okay, he started playing guitar, I started playing drums, then we swapped because he had better on drums than me, and it went on from there. But you're right, it was small steps. It wasn't this big dream that we had. It was basically the need to survive.
It was in...
Oh, but it was great fun.
Oh, yeah.
The beauty of it, man. You have your instrument, you set up somewhere, and you have this thing where you can make the people in the room dance and have a good time.
Doing what you like to do.
It's great, yeah.
Tone is one of the most important things about this band.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of the things that really separates this band from everybody else in our genre.
It's our voice.
How do you mean?
It's my voice. You know, a lot of it has to do with what's just the way I play. You know, that you can't remove it whether you like it or not. You know, like in the old club days, I remember you guys going, "Why can't you make it sound like the damn record?" I'm going, "Sorry."
That was merely a financial consideration. That was a financial imperative.
See, there you go again.
That we had to struggle with.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, in the club days, it was difficult to sound like other people. So I think it's inherently in all of us. Not necessarily every musician, you know. But I think, just like you, only sound like you. You know, some singers can sound like anybody.
I consciously try to sound like other people still to this day.
Neither can I.
And I laugh when nobody gets it, because to me it's just so obvious I'm imitating so-and-so.
But nobody else hears
it. You know, it's like, if you caught me, I go, it's an homage. You know, it's in tribute. But nobody ever caught me, because no matter what, they go, "Oh, that's very Dave." And I'm walking away going, "No, man, that's Ziggy Stardust."
I mean,
what are you talking
when we played...
That's the guy in the Stones. You didn't get that. It's almost funny to me.
Dave, come on. I mean, when we used to play the clubs, we sounded pretty silly playing some of that stuff.
It sounded
different. Yeah,
it sounded like,
well, like It's Your Thing. It sounded like Black Sabbath playing. You know.
Yep.
You know.
It was almost like a.
It didn't sound anything like a record.
Clearly it didn't.
Yeah.
But that's one of the attractive things. We were representing a neighborhood, and it was adding just maybe a little bit of girl-friendliness to a heavy rock sound. We're a hard rock band from the 70s and 60s kind of a thing, you know. When we played the club songs like It's Your Thing and Get Down Tonight was another one there. It was kind of like a reality series game show challenge.
Yeah.
Like, let's take the song with the most brass and the most chicks in the background and the most rhythm section,
and see how we would do it.
And see how a three-piece would do it. But you remember, we would always try to do the solo the same as the song the first time, then we'd do another verse, and then we'd do the Ed solo.
Yeah.
You recollect?
Oh, yeah.
And then you began to create within, you know, whatever. We worked well. We worked a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We did 5 45-minute sets a lot.
I think a lot of people enjoyed our take on things.
Oh, totally. Well, we also had that spirit, you know.
Yeah.
If you watch a lot of the old dancers on from the movies in the 30s and the 40s, their spirit is, you know, that's in a lot of what we do, you know, a lot of that vibe. I think we're one of the bands that really still, we talk about having to make the bread, and we talk about our hard lessons in, well, you got to balance out the rent with the vision. But very few of our colleagues still enjoy playing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, do you feel that? Very few of the guys who get past 10 years, it seems like a lot of hard work in there. Do you feel that?
No, it's...
If you enjoy playing, you're always going to improve. You might not get faster, you might not get louder, whatever the definition of better is, but you will become more refined.
Yeah.
And when you can do that, that is a challenge. You know, you can continue to learn and make those. That's what keeps it interesting.
Well, you have to
because
enjoy doing it.
Not necessarily. I see a lot of folks out there.
I mean other
really
people. Yeah.
struggling
But
through
I
it.
mean, we still enjoy what we do. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it.
What would you do? What else would you do?
I don't know.
You've never done anything for a living but music.
That's kind of what keeps me enjoying doing it.
Very cool. When did you guys decide you were going to be a band and make money at it and go to the arenas?
it wasn't about the money. It was, I remember.
Support yourself. That's what you were going to do for a living, and you were going to make records and follow in the footsteps of who? Who'd you follow? For me, it started with the Beatles actively. When I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, I knew I was going to be in a rock band of some sort.
Dave Clark 5 for me.
Yeah?
At what point did we decide to do that? I think when we played those first gigs as the Broken Combs, and you see what kind of an effect you can have on people.
Who were the Broken Combs?
Oh, it was Ed and I and three other guys. So I was on saxophone.
We played at lunchtime at Hamilton Elementary School.
And we played at an assembly.
Out in the squad.
Also that assembly and some other stuff that we played at.
Yeah.
But the thing was that I know it sounds kind of shallow, but it's addicting to play in front of people that at the same time have that exchange between an audience and a performer.
It's great. It's unpredictable.
And of course the girls.
It's a big part.
That's the first thing I remember. I was in 4th grade. We did that gig. I'm going, hey man, all of a sudden I got girlfriends.
It's like Napoleon Dynamite says, you got to have skills, man. You got to have skills. You ain't getting no girls. You pick what is. I'm clearly right there. I totally get that. For me, it was the Beatles, and I knew it was. To the point where I was in 2 different lip sync bands just with the other kids where we would learn the Beatle tunes, and then we would put on a show for the parents.
Right.
Then we put on a show at the school assembly, but we rehearsed it routinely. We went through a thing. One of the kids had an actual Beatles suit, like that. I didn't wear the Beatle wig, but it was very. We took it very structuredly.
We wore the turtlenecks, remember? Yeah.
That was the Dave Clark 5 look.
Yeah.
But again, it really boils down to if you enjoy what you're doing, then it wasn't so much an objective that we're trying to reach in terms of where are we going with this. It just happens, sort of. And I understand that nothing really happens by itself. But
I always dug the prep. I always dug the rehearsal. I always dug the designing the stuff, and it's like a pack of dogs going, okay, where are we going? Where are we going? We even looked like each other. At one point, when we started touring on the road, remember when we all had the same shoes and the same leather jackets? We looked like the same family. We all smoked the same cigarette. We used the exact same slang that was peculiar to ourselves. Do you follow?
We were on the same bus.
We had the same bus, the same everything.
Yeah, that still trips me out to this day. That all those years we were on one bus.
Yeah. Plus the security and the lighting guy.
Yeah.
Well, I was just describing to Dana here, one of our camera women, who's running the show here. I was flying back from New York. She says, "Do you usually fly first class?" I says, "Let me tell you about before first class." Remember the bus in England?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Put the Halliburtons in the middle, and that was our bed.
And I'll start to describe. Feel free to chime in. If the owl is the